back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I am Lupagus here with Onebar, and today we're going to talk about some old familiar faces that could come back to the purple in free agency this year.
Yeah, there's some Vikings free agents, some familiar faces that we'd welcome with open arms, and others they might come back, but maybe not so much welcoming.
May not be the warmest reception. Before we hop in this, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the vids. We're so close to 6,000, so damn close.
I
think you need a horse. All right, let's start with one of the I think I'd love to have this guy back. Let's go with I guess you call him jack of all trades, wide receiver, running back, former first round pick Cordaro Patterson.
Cradle Patterson just absolutely lit it up last year. Falcons finally took him and used his potential, and he was dominant. And you know what? He still loves the Vikings. You can tell, like last year, everyone's like, come on home, Cordaro, and he's putting smiley faces and shit. So,
and he tweeted, waiting for free agency, some kind of meme about him, waiting on a swing or some shit. So here's the thing with Cradle Patterson, very talented player, a player that wasn't used properly here in Minnesota because I think he fell out of favor with Mike Zimmer. He wasn't drafted by Zimmer. He came in the year before. And for whatever reason, him and Zimmer just did not hit it off. I think it was when he was celebrating after returning a kick after we're down 40 points against the Seahawks. Things like that just kind of got Zimmer's goat. Never really liked him and never really used him the way he should have. So he was really criminally underused when he was here in Minnesota. Should have had a much more Percy Harvin-esque role.
Well, now we know Zimmer's attitude towards some players. Maybe Zimmer never even talked to the guy. Maybe he was one of those guys he just wanted nothing to do with, and he was an ass to him. Who knows? We don't know. But to be fair, I mean, he didn't really do anything in New England. He didn't really do anything in Chicago. So he went up, lit it up. He's 30 years old. He had 1,200 yards from scrimmage. So it's going to be interesting to see. He's like this running back, tweener, receiver. So when you hit that age of 30, who knows? But it's also pretty clear that the Falcons want him back. There's some mutual love there. But imagine him in Kevin O'Connell's new offense. It would be beautiful.
Yeah, he'd be a gadget player. He probably worked in as wide receiver 3, I'm sure, just creating mismatches all over the field. Wouldn't need him so much as a returner with Kenny and Guangyu in house, but you could have 2 guys back there and really confuse teams.
Sounds like you're talking about a double team.
Yeah.
He'd be wide receiver 3. He'd be running back 2. He would be tight end 1. I mean, he'd be anything. And
you think O'Connell coming from this Rams offense, he would utilize this guy's versatility. I think he would love having a jack of all trades piece like this to use in his offense.
Cradle Patterson.
Come back home, please.
Come home.
Please.
Come home. Let's make this offense even more potent.
All right, let's talk one other guy. Maybe not the warmest reception, but I think we would take him after seeing what we had at the cornerback position last year. Let's talk about our former first-round pick, Mike Hughes.
Yeah, I think we used to refer to him as Mike Hughes because we're very immature. Decent year last year. Had an absolute horrible playoffs. He was very bad in the playoffs. But the thing with Hughes last year, he stayed healthy. He stayed healthy for the whole year, started 5 games. He's clearly a depth piece. It's not like we'd come in and have him be a starter, but he's a guy who can go in the field.
Well, he still makes the occasional splash play. Yeah, he might suck in coverage for a while, but he's going to come up big every now and then and do something that's like, holy shit, okay, Mike Hughes, there you are. And obviously he could choose a little bit where he wants to go. Depends what he gets for contract offers. The GM that hired him, that drafted him, that traded him away is no longer here. So the hard feelings shouldn't really linger over. Minnesota Vikings looking for some veteran depth in the secondary, especially at corner. They could give Mike Hughes a call.
And you bring up a very good point. All these guys that we're talking about, they have no strings to really anybody that was there. The owners, yes, but everybody loves the Wilfs. So it's not like hard feelings should be gone. Should be gone. That's why everybody here on the table is a possibility.
Absolutely. Who you got?
This one I don't really. J-Ron Curse left the Vikings. Didn't say some overly great things about the Vikings. This one's probably the least likely, even though that everybody's gone. But he actually had a pretty damn good year for Dallas last year. Safety, kind of like Cordaro Patterson on defense. You can use him in a number of ways. Had a very good year last year.
Yeah, no, I talked to Jay Tuck down with Cowboys Fans Only, his YouTube channel. They love J-Ron Curse. I think they want him back. I think they want to back up the trucks to pay for this guy. And J-Ron Curse, when he was here, another player who I think fell into Mike Zimmer's doghouse, was not being used. I remember the game against Denver where we were down 20, whatever. Curse pretty much single-handedly
saved that game.
Save the game. And that's what the guy did. He would come up, he would make plays, whether it was on special teams, at corner, or at linebacker, because I think he played some linebacker, he played some safety. I think he even played some corner pinch. Very versatile. J-Ron Curse, I'd love having this guy back. And I hate that we actually let him go. And I mean, look for a 7th round pick that Rick Spielman actually nailed. This was definitely one of them.
Nailed it. He's ginormous, but yeah, you're right. He probably made himself some good money, and still burns me a little bit as far as he wasn't saying very nice things about the Vikings, even though it was because maybe he didn't get along with them. Got to keep that shit off the social media. Come on.
Well, I don't
burning bridges.
Ripping the fans, did he? It was mostly just about coaching staff, wasn't it?
And he was very discreet about it, but it wasn't being kind to the Vikings. But again, he's a guy that, I mean, if we kept Hitman, buying him, put Curse out there as the 3rd guy out there, whew, getting hot and bothered.
I'm getting hot and bothered just thinking about that. Let's think this guy's not getting me hot and bothered, but I'm surprised that he had a resurgence when he left the Minnesota Vikings. Cornerback Xavier Rhodes.
Xavier Rhodes. I'll let you take this one up.
Well, I mean, when he was here in Minnesota his last couple of years, he's just horrible. I mean, getting booed out the field. He's leaving. He was hurt every other play. And before that, he was probably one of the better cornerbacks in the NFL, shutting everybody down. Rhodes close was a popular saying, and it was true. You put Rhodes on a guy, he took that guy right out of the game. And then just his play falls off. I don't know what happened, overthinking if he was hurt. And then the worst part, Zimmer was going on these press conferences and just basically saying, oh, he's fine, he's fine, he's fine. As you see Rhodes laying on the ground, crying for his life. Then he goes over to Indianapolis, and he actually plays pretty well for a couple of years. Shockingly to me, I thought this guy's career was over, and the change of scenery did him good.
Yeah, and again, this goes back to the relationship. Who knows what the actual relationship was with him and Zimmer? I think Rhodes, the end of his Vikings career anyway, even though whether he was really that injured every play he was laying down, I think injuries had a lot to do with the way he played. His first year in Indy, he was damn near fantastic. Last year, definitely not as good as his first year, but 31 years old, he'd be brought in. I could see this move as, oh shit, we didn't get a draft pick, or we need some more depth. We need a veteran out there. We don't bring back Peterson. It would be like a 1-year deal.
Oh, absolutely would be. Yeah.
Maybe a 3-month deal.
I don't know if that would get you anywhere. Yeah. I mean, it has to be. He would be that veteran presence back there, knowing, helping guys get lined up, helping these young corners. Cause no matter what, we sign a veteran, we're still going to have plenty of young corners playing. If we don't get a 1st-round corner, we're going to probably get a 2nd or 3rd-round corner with Cam Dantzler out there. So they're going to need someone who knows what they're doing, and Rhodes would be that guy. So how good he would play, I don't know. But even if it's somewhere between
ass and balls,
it would be okay. Taint.
Taint. You know what? Maybe our starting secondary for 2022 will be Rhodes. It will be Curse. It will be Trey Waynes, and it'll be Mike Hughes.
Wow. Retro.
That
would be something. And the last guy on this list, we'd be remiss, as they say, if we don't mention this guy. Again, it depends what the Vikings do with the quarterback situation. If they do trade Kirk Cousins, they got to find a quarterback to come in, and you need a veteran presence. And Teddy Bridgewater is a free agent, and Teddy is what Teddy is. He's he can be athletic, he can run with the ball a little bit. He tends to overthrow open receivers down the field. His accuracy isn't all that it needs to be, but he's out there.
This is a really
he's a veteran, and if the Vikings are looking for someone to have as a veteran option, Teddy Bridgewater could come back for stint number 2.
Yeah, he could. And you said all the right things as far as he's definitely worth mentioning at the quarterback position, where who knows what the future holds. I hope not. I would rather they just sign I don't know, bring Drew Henson out of retirement. Anybody. Jesus. Teddy, wish him the best, but I hope it's not in purple.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. And we should actually kind of gone back and even said, look at last year. We did bring back some guys. Sheldon Richardson came back. Mac Alexander came back. So it's not like this hasn't happened before. The Vikings have brought some guys back, and there's a few guys out there that we didn't mention. One being Bush Jones.
Linval Joseph.
I mean, how much would you love to have Linval Joseph back? Eric Wilson, Anthony Harris. So there's some guys floating out there who could come back home. And I don't know. I guess there's a fairly good chance the Vikings at least bring one of these guys back.
Bold prediction. We will get a former Viking on this team. Will it be someone we just mentioned? Maybe not, but we're going to get one.
Yeah, let us know in the comments one of these guys. If you do want, who do you think we'll get? And until then, remember this, male bees don't do any work.